Hi, everyone. Welcome to another California Psychics Facebook and YouTube Live. We are simultaneously streaming on both platforms, so welcome. I'm Carly. I'll be your moderator today, and we have Psychic Marin joining us. How are you doing today, Marin?
I'm doing fantastic today. Thank you, Carly.
You're welcome. So I know that we have a lot of returning guests. We have a lot of people that show up every week, and we appreciate all of your time and commitment that you show up every Monday. But I know we have a lot of new people too. And just for those new people, I wanted to explain what it is we're doing here and how this all works. We can make sure we get everyone a fair chance to get seen. So the way these lives work is I will be going through all of the comments that we get on Facebook and on YouTube and picking out comments or questions for Marin to answer. And towards the end, we'll switch to tarot cards. So maybe if you don't want to ask a question where everyone can see you post it, you might want to say, can I have a card on my relationship? And then Marin can pull a card for you and interpret that card for you. So if you don't have a specific question, or if you want to keep your question on the DL, you can wait till the end. We do tarot cards. And to make everything go really easy and smoothly, there are a few ground rules. One of them being that we can't answer any questions on medical issues or legal issues. So please, any health questions or pregnancy questions or legal contract, anything like that, please leave those out of the comments. And then Marin, do you want to kind of tell everyone exactly how your psychic abilities work, what works best for you to make sure that you can answer everyone's questions?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I love to have names. Often people give me date of birth. You're welcome to, but that just kind of goes in one ear out the other. Names help me differentiate who is coming forward. So sometimes if Carly reads me a name and their question or comment, I may get a couple people or sometimes a dozen, an entire family that steps forward. And for the sake of time, like it's a little different if you were to call me for a private phone reading, because then we could identify people and get to that. But because we're really trying to get to everybody that we can, as many people as possible, I need to be able to work as fast as possible. And so if you give me a name, I can identify that person. And it's almost like when we're kids playing Red Rover, and everybody's lined up and you choose a person. It's like this line of people. And when I'm given a name, it's like this person steps forward. Somebody comes forward above everyone else. So names are really helpful. Also, gosh, what was the other thing we were going to talk about? Filtering out those people that step forward. Sometimes it might not be the person that you're asking. So sometimes you may say, does my grandma have any messages? And often grandma's the one that's in the background where mom's the one that's stepping forward. That happens too. And like I just said, we're always able to get in deeper on a one-on-one call. But for this, I will get through as much as I can and help clarify what I can. So we're going to go fast, and I'm going to give concise responses. And then halfway through, we'll switch to cards and single card pulls.
Perfect. Then without any further ado, let's get started. And our first question is going to be from Breezy Barbie. Will Dwayne and I talk and reconnect again?
Okay, Breezy Barbie. Okay, give me just 1 second because I'm trying to connect with Breezy Barbie. Boy, that seems estranged. This looks like months. I'm already, so just for the sake of explaining what's happening in my mind, because there have been a lot of questions, people are interested in this. So I'll explain this really briefly. What happens is I start to find somebody and I connect with them, and then I start going through months. And I'm already to August, September, and then I start to feel like October, now I get them. So I'm shown like late September. This is going to be a while. I don't see much communication right now, but when I look at fall, that's when I see communication that leads into consistency. So Thank you, Breezy Barbie, for your question, but it looks like you're going to be waiting until late fall, late September, early October.
And then Dee asks, hi, I want to know what Gagan thinks of me and when they'll reach out.
Okay, let me look at, that's much sooner. That's early April. I see you. I see you going out together. It looks like it's afternoon. I see you going out together. It's almost like a very casual, hey, you want to go with me while I pick this up? You want to go with me? It seems like it's something simple that you're invited to come along with. And that's what kind of starts this flirtatiousness. But they're showing me early April, so about 3 weeks.
And then Aaron says, does Brandon have good intentions towards me being happy?
I love how you worded that, because I think that he's more self-centered and not as aware of what your needs are, what your needs in order to be happy. There isn't this dialogue about that. So you're wanting him to help bring you happiness. He doesn't even know really what that means. So he's more focused on himself than he is on your needs. It's going to have to be spelt out it's going to have to be more of this give and take, because there's a little bit more of a selfishness that I see.
Says, is my friend Josh at peace? This is from Crystal.
Oh. Yeah. So gosh, chills. That so when something like this happens, I'm drawn up and my body lights up. So instantly now I know, like, I'm reaching for the other side. I'm not looking at somebody down here. I'm looking at the other side. And I do get peace, because the shrill that I got was a lot of grief. So I think that was somebody that has crossed over, and I definitely feel that there's a peace with that soul now.
That is good to hear. Niam says, does Tyrell still think of me? We are currently not together.
Yes. That's a yes. This is a be careful situation. He's a firecracker, very high chemistry, passion, not a lot of commitment. It's a fun, it's casual, it's fun, but I definitely feel the chemistry without really any commitment and no expectations. I wouldn't hold any expectations of this turning into something more at this time, at least not for a couple years.
And then Freyan says, when will Arya call? And when will our relation head in the direction that I want?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me see. So the communication starts to become consistent in early May. I feel like there will be conversation before then, mid-April. They're correcting me, early, the second week in April, and then I start to see in May is when it becomes consistent. My concern is that initial conversation, you're gonna want to put everything out on the table. You're going to want to address everything, talk about it all at once, and it's just going to feel so overwhelming that now they're disappearing again. I would completely adjust that, little bits, little crumbs, reestablish the comfort in this relationship and connection. And I don't see that disappearing act. So I would modify how much you want to get off your chest and what you're initially wanting to share to keep the contact consistent instead of the disappearing and coming back, which is what I see. So second week in April, by May, it starts to become more consistent. But I do feel like you just want to sit them down and corner them, and that's not the best approach. Yeah.
And before we go to the next one, I wanted to point out some exciting news. Is in 2 days, so on March 10th and 11th, is our KR Day, our Karma Rewards Day. And for any of our customers, you know that that's when you can get extra KR points to, once you rack up those points, you can get free readings, you can get discounts. So I highly recommend looking into our Karma Rewards Day on our website and our app. And for any of our new customers or people that have never gotten a reading with us, go ahead, sign up for your first reading, and then make sure you sign up for our KR program, a Karma Rewards program. You automatically get an extra $20 added to your account for your first reading, or for the first time you sign up for our account. And if you use our promo code that's scrolling down there, Live5, you get an extra $5 to your account. So $5 plus $20, so $25 extra dollars to have with your psychic for your first reading. So make sure you look more into our Karma Rewards program. And we'll go to our next question.
All right.
This is from Ramana. And will Elvis come back?
I just got a hard, firm no, and I was trying to see the person. I don't even get an image of the person, but I just get a hard no. So I'm sorry if that comes across cold, but I hope that makes sense to you.
And then I see a few questions coming in where people aren't using names. So I'm going to skip over those for now, but this is a reminder to everyone. If you're just joining, if you're asking about a specific person, make sure you use their name and I'll be sure to call on you. At least try to call on as many people as possible. Angelica says, does my mom, Jessica, or my grandmother, Maria, who had passed away, have any advice for me? Love, career, thank you.
Maria. I get the connection with Maria that steps forward, and I'm wondering if there was a cooking connection, or if you have some connection with her through culinary, or if there's a career path for you. I'm just trying to look and see. I keep feeling like it's focused on health, diet, nutrition counseling, meals. Are you doing like side meal preps? Are you trying to launch your own business? She shows me that the two of you are cooking together, and it's like, wow, I'm proud, and you can make money doing this. You're really gifted. You can do this. So I don't know if that's something that she's showing you as a message to catapult you in a career path, or if it's something that you actually did together. It's just a little snippet, so I'm not able to see this image trail. It was like a flash of a picture. So that is the career path that she's showing you. There's a lot more heartache when I'm trying to get the connection with Jessica. That's hard. That's a heartbreak. Your grandma is the one that's a lot closer, that is nurturing you. The heartache with the mother, I think that one's a lot harder. It's more of an emotional connection. Like there wasn't this closure. So she's a little more distant. The grandma's the one helping you out.
And then Chloe asks, will I be successful in PR, or is another career better for me?
Yeah. Perseverance is your key word, because they showed me it's almost 2 years before you're landing and getting that dream job that you're really wanting. So what I'm getting is a lot of what feels like you're spinning your wheels and you're volunteering your time. And who is this person that I'm helping out that really doesn't have the following that I thought they did, or it's not going to catapult my career. So what they're showing me is, and verbally saying, is that this is all very relevant and very important. And all of these connections and the volume of what you're doing, don't ever underestimate or like poo-poo something that it's just no big deal, or just this is some next door neighbor. Like this is all very, very relevant. And in the time being, I do see some other side work that you're doing, and everything's showing me online, or it's more graphics and creative. Yes, this is something you definitely should be pursuing, but you need to stay the course for about 18, 20 months. That's when you get the package job with benefits and everything that's really solid.
And then username TheTruth305 says, will my child's father, Brian, come back to Houston, Texas to reconcile our relationship?
Okay, so, ooh, that's a strong connection. Yes, but I also am farther drawn to San Antonio. So I keep seeing that yes, he will be back, but there's a geographic shift. Like he's trying to pull you to. I feel like there's a path for reconciliation, and he wants to go to San Antonio. So that is a yes. And I feel like that starts in late August, early September. This is like 6 months of conversation and really testing things, but that's a definite yes.
And then another question that I wanted to point out is people are asking, can you just tell me anything, or can I have a general question? And I want to point out to those people that that's better set for our tarot portion of the live, just because it's going to be a little bit harder and take a little bit longer time for Marin to answer that type of question. We're trying to get to as many people as possible. So I'm not going to pick those right now, but if you ask again when we get to the tarot section, I'll be sure to look out for you.
And Carly, can I comment on that? Like, when somebody, this happens a lot, so I figured I might as well spend a minute to explain this. People love to test the psychic and get that validation. So a lot of times what happens on a phone call is I pick up and I get somebody that is very, very guarded. They've probably had experiences, or they're not as trusting of the experience, and so they don't mean to be, but they may come off as a little more guarded. And so what I hear on my end is, I don't want to give you any information, I just want to know what you see. So immediately what that does to myself, and I imagine a lot of readers, is it takes us and it makes us go, oh, okay, we're on the spot. We've got to prove ourselves, and I need to pull a rabbit out of the hat, and I need to impress them and wow them and give them exactly what they're asking for to legitimize myself and the process. So what I start to do then is I'm scanning, going, what does she want? What does she want? What does she want? And it's like I'm now a mind reader trying to figure out exactly what it is that she wants me to say. And in the meantime, I'm getting bombarded with, well, her career path should be going here, and her house is going to have a leaky pipe. And so I'm filtering out all this, and you're paying by the minute. So I'm trying to work as fast as I can. And what happens within me is I almost start to feel an anxiety building, and I just don't want to disappoint you or the caller. And so sometimes just the littlest hint or the littlest bit of information, I'm calling about my relationship, I'm calling about Bob, we just broke up. That is night and day. And you're still not giving me a lot of information, but it's enough to where I can weed out all this other chatter. And then if it interests you and you have the time, we can get to that, but it's often not relevant. And I don't want to waste your time by, well, do you want to talk about your house? You've got a leaky pipe. They're going to be upset because I'm not identifying the one thing that's on their mind that they wanted me to wow them with. And sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I'm not. And I'd rather not disappoint you and give you accurate information and help you really resolve why you're calling. So sometimes that's what can really test the psychic. And it can be fun, it can be fun, especially when it's like a party, Halloween parties and readings. But when you guys are paying by the minute, I want to help you. So sometimes a little bit of information will get me right to the point. Thank you for listening.
That is the best explanation of how that works. So I think that was perfect.
Good.
And so one of the next questions we'll get to is from Alexis. Any exciting news for 2021, or is there any information from my mom, Jessica?
Another Jessica. Okay, give me 1 second. Home. Your whole focus is home, and I'm actually questioning if it's a investment property or a second property. And I would make a note of the name I think it's Louise. I think it's Louis or Louise. And I get this home that is for sale, and it's an investment property. So they're emphasizing that this is like a dual residency or a granny home unit in the back. And this is late August is when you look at this. I feel like you have no plans or no intentions, and this just kind of falls in your lap. So put this on the back of your radar. Start looking at financing. Start looking at, is this something that you even, I meant to say finances, not going out and financing, but look at your finances. And is this something that if this opportunity fell in my lap, I want to be ready for this in late summer, early September, late August this year? Boy, there seems to be a lot of that right now. A lot of late August, early Septembers that we're getting today. That's something that is a surprise, but it's a huge investment opportunity. And I feel like it might be connected with a relative or family member. Your connection with your mother, she just wants to touch your hair. I just keep getting, I don't know if she was a beautician or if she had a connection with you and did your hair so beautifully, or if you've got beautiful hair, but she just keeps wanting to just touch your hair. And it's really sweet. It's really precious.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, it's just.
Minion says, will my senior center take off so that I can be a real entrepreneur and work for myself this year?
Yes, I'm proud of you. Yes, it's going to take off, but you're going to have a nightmare situation with employees. My advice is really look at how you're structured in bringing on these employees, and whether you want to have the budget for you're able to compensate just a little bit more and get a little bit higher quality of employees that aren't just coming and going. It looks like there's going to be just such a turnover that you're not retaining them. If you resolve that, this is going to be a dream. So don't let that discourage you, because it is going to be really frustrating, especially October, late October, November. Like, be prepared that you're going to need a lot of staff on reserve, because it's going to be really crazy around November. It's holiday time. That makes sense, but a lot of turnover.
I like the idea of a senior center too. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Well, this one's a little heartbreaking, but Angelica asks, I lost my boyfriend Kevin last year, and I just want to know, when will I find true love again?
There's communication that's happening, and I'm pretty sure that this is him. And I wanted to, I don't know if you can respond, or if there's somebody that you're aware of named Brian. I get that is who's going to introduce you to somebody else. Honestly, it feels like you're in a protective bubble where there's so much fragility in your heart that I don't feel like you're ready for the harsh reality of online dating and just putting yourself out there. It's baby steps putting yourself out there. And I just kept getting this sense of you not enjoying the process. You just are going to second guess yourself. You're going to meet somebody through an introduction of a mutual friend. So and that's December. It's December this year. There's still a little bit more healing, but I really don't want you thrown to the wolves. It would be a lot of unwelcoming contact that you're just too fragile for at this point. I say that very lovingly, but you'll be happier having the relationship brought to you instead of you having to weed out through all of this.
That makes sense. Daniel wants to know, is Crystal his soulmate? It says, if so, when? But I'm not, maybe if that's not her soulmate, when?
Okay. Yes. So here's what the issue is. There's a little bit of just a maturity gap where there's not this feeling of I am rock solid in my life, and that she's not ready for marriage and commitment. I know you don't want to lose her. You don't want to risk her moving on elsewhere, but she doesn't want to pin down. She's too independent on her path right now. And when I'm looking at December, that's when I see she's ready. So I'm looking at the remainder of this year feeling like it's either career or continued education, because I see academic aspects of her life. And then she's ready to say, okay, I made it. I did it. I've achieved my personal ranking that was important to me. And now I'm ready to share and give myself to someone else. So it's I often use the word like it's a permissible selfishness. And even though she may be in her own world right now, she needs to be. This is what she's doing, and she's on track. She's on course. So you have to wait. You've got to wait. And by December, the attention completely turns to you. And there's something about a castle. I don't know if this will make sense to you. Please respond if it does, but I keep getting a castle in Ireland. So whether that's like where there's a proposal or where you're wanting to take her or something she mentions, there's something about castle and travel in Ireland.
Thanks, Daniel. I'll be on the lookout for your confirmation if you know what that means. We're getting a lot of comments though, so I'll try to make sure I see it.
Okay.
Speaking of a lot, we have 201 people watching right now. So I want to thank some of the people we have over on Facebook, people that have liked and hearted our feed is Marianne Sawyer and Stella Munoz.
Hi, Marianne.
And Barbara Orendorf and Emily and Shelley and Kimberly Madrias. Over on YouTube, we have Imani Bradshaw and Andrea B. and Panagotia Kakoros.
Wow.
And D. White and Tony Nicoletti. And I want to thank everyone. If I didn't call your name when you're watching, I said there's now 206 people watching right now. We appreciate everyone's time. We know we have an hour every single Monday, except for the third Monday, we have a Tarot Live, which is a little different. But thank you all for joining us. We're going to try to get to as many more questions as we can. But before we go on to the next question, remember, if you could hit that like button on our page and subscribe button and notification bell on YouTube, you will get notified every time we go live. So you'll never have to, set reminders. You'll get that push notification right on your phone. So hit that like button on our page and the subscribe and notification bell on YouTube. We really appreciate all of your support. Okay.
Okay.
Sorva Gupta. When will Sophie reach out to me? Will my relation move forward with her?
I'm scanning, I'm searching, and anytime I'm looking and I just get a blank screen, I just get darkness. Like I'm trying to find them. I can't even identify the gender. Maybe you mentioned that, but I'm looking, and I sadly feel like that's a no. I also feel like when I see somebody, or when I can't see somebody and it's that walled off, that means they don't want to be contacted or they don't want to be found, that there's more of a sense of, I just want to be left alone.
And then our next question, D. White says, hi, should Alexa, Jaden, and Dakota come live with me for a better life?
Oh, yes. Boy, this is a heart wrencher. The answer is yes, but I feel like you really need to think this through. This is something where you're going to need to meet with a family law attorney. You're going to need to look at the practicality of this, the legalities of this. This isn't just such a simple answer of, here, can you help out? Here, can you take them? Or you wanting to take them in. I admire your heart and compassion, but I also feel like the exhaustion and the burden from a legal aspect is something that you're unaware of. So it's something you really need to look at all of the outline issues, not just them, and what that day-to-day looks like, because I see you somewhat regretting this or wishing you had more help. So I think you can absolutely have a role and an influence that can be ongoing and consistent, but not 100% where you take them in, or it's an adoption or something where you assume full guardianship. Really look at that one. I know you mean well. So
Sorry, I muted myself.
there we go.
Felicia says, do you see my godson Stephen going overseas for soccer?
Yes. And I do feel like that's something that's not going to be so impacted with or where it already was impacted, but it's not going to be further delayed. So that looks like a yes. Yes, he's going to feel safe. There's a lot of supervision, a lot of opportunity there. Like, yes, I definitely would say you can feel confident in sending him, and he will be in good hands and a lot of opportunities. I think the bigger problem is he's going to like that international lifestyle and will set himself on a different career path where he'll be a dual resident and want to go back and forth and back and forth. So I think that that's very good.
Very cool. Ashley Root wants to know, what month will my boyfriend Kevin and I start getting serious?
That is sooner than you think. You know, I feel like it's right around the third week of April. Like there's I think that you two are planning like a bigger weekend, like a bigger getaway where it's still I say bigger because, you know, none of us have been able to travel and do stuff for so long. So everything from my perspective now looks new and exciting. But I do see that there's a weekend getaway, and from that point on, it's like lovey-dovey and inseparable. And you guys are really not clingy. I don't see you as codependent and clingy, and I talk to him for hours every day and I just can't imagine life without him. So it's funny for me to see you guys from going with this independent lifestyle to now even coming from him. It's just, I can't get enough. I just want to be around you. I just want to talk to you, and really loving your energy. So by third week in April, from that point on, you guys are serious.
Nice.
Yeah. I think she was thinking, well, by this summer, he's kind of dragging his feet. And I'm looking at this going, no, it's fast.
That's awesome. Frankie wants to know, is Chris trying to reach me from the other side?
Yeah, and I'm glad that you're aware. You're going to experience more paranormal stuff. There is not, the dream work or waking up, thought process, thinking. What's happening right now is you're second guessing yourself and you're questioning, was this thought, was this feeling, is it real? You're somebody that would be an excellent candidate for EVP, like electronic voice, like recording, trying to communicate. I love helping people with this. There's a lot of psychics on the line that help with mediumship work and helping coach people and how to connect with loved ones. So you can Google EVP. You can try doing some of that video work, or automatic writing might be a little bit trickier for you, but that is like a right connection. And so I keep getting items. There is a physical shift in items and things that are moved. So you're picking up on it, but there just can be a little bit more fine tuning that will help you in validating this, and that it's not all in your mind.
That's very cool and
Yeah.
fascinating. Chrissy Morton wants to know, does my nanny, Brenda have a message for me?
Yes. So I'm going to be more concise, like more discreet. Like everything is more along the lines of like, I'm proud of you, child. I'm proud of you. And what I'm shown is it looks more like there is this estranged like relationship where she didn't get to see you blossom or see the maturity. And so you've done very well for yourself, very independent, more of like entrepreneurial energy is what she's showing me. So it's more of like, you got this, you got this. And the other thing I think is kind of funny is that she gave you so much, how do I phrase this? It's almost like you two had this special relationship sometimes that would conflict with what the parents wanted, or she'd sneak you food or sneak you things, or it was almost like we're blurring the rules just a little bit, but I get this really close connection. And she's just this, it's a proud energy, proud of your independence. And I feel like you're standing up to your parents, or you've had to butt heads a little bit. So she's proud of you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Grandparents are the best for sneak around those rules. And then one thing I wanted to bring up before we go to the next question is that it came up during our last live, is we've had some psychics that are not affiliated with California Psychics that are commenting on our comments after the live is over saying, message me for a free reading, and I'll do a tarot card reading if you give me XYZ. I just want to make sure everyone knows that none of our California Psychics comment from their personal profiles on these. So anyone that's contacting me who is not affiliated with California Psychics, pointing that out because I have seen a couple come through. So if you're getting comments from someone saying that they're psychic, just know that it's not ever going to be anyone from California Psychics. Pointing that out.
Wow. It's really, people don't realize that when we're working at home, our phone rings. We have no idea other than what our intuition shows us. We're not given the name. We don't know who we're picking up. The phone rings, we connect. So I have no way of contacting anybody. I would never even know the identity of who I'm talking to. So it is very, very confidential and discreet. I would have no way of connecting with any of you. And that's just to maintain privacy and professionalism.
For sure. And I'll probably point that out a couple more times because we do have people that join, just for 5 minutes at a time to watch. So I want to make sure that I tell as many people as possible, because we did get people from our last live asking me, like, is this a California psychic? And they're not. So I'll probably bring it up a few more times before the live is over. Let's see. Shirley, oh, cute puppy dog in the picture. Shirley wants to know, when should I try to contact Andrew?
Oh. Yesterday, like this is just the sky's the limit. That is more of an issue of nerves and what do I say, not so much a timing matter. So, I help a lot of people craft emails or craft messages when they want to get just the exact right words to say. But, this is about courage. So you can contact him now.
I never thought about contacting a psychic to help with getting those thoughts down on paper and in an email. That is genius.
And the reason why I offer this is because when somebody crafts a message, they're speaking from what they want to say. What they're not looking at is how is this person going to receive it? And so even just the slightest little word may trigger somebody, and that's not what the person is intending to have happen. So by buffering things or just modifying some words, I do it all the time, and I really like it. It's also something that I tell people that if they send me a message through the California Psychics direct message platform, you can type out the email, "Hi, Susan, I just wanted to know if you wanted to have dinner with me," and then I can edit it and send it back to you. So people do that a lot.
That is so smart. Ooh, I'm gonna have to use that one. Okay, so we have Lisa. Oh, it's trying to click. There we go. Lisa wants to know, will David and I have a long-term relationship?
Oh yeah, that's a definite. That's a yes. You'll know by early June. You'll know. What are they trying to show? He's This is actually, I think you're misreading or misunderstanding the relationship. He's got butterflies. This is something he's really excited about. And so his nervousness is what's keeping him tongue-tied and a little bit more guarded or hesitant. But the feelings are there. He's kind of like this, I'm bursting at the seams, but the execution is what's struggling. So there's a huge connection in chemistry, and by June the comfort finally allows him just to be normal, just to be relaxed.
And then Kimberly wants to know, any sign of a better job for me this year?
September. Yeah, you're looking for a needle in the haystack. Like I would wait because I feel like there are gonna be job leads and opportunities, and you've got to hang on for the right fit. And I'm questioning if you had a background in law enforcement, or was that something you were gonna pursue, or if there was a military background, because the position I'm looking at looks like it's more responsibilities, more confidential information and security, and gosh, just it just looks like you would be better off waiting for this right fit instead of just accepting, and you keep kind of going through a broken record of different job opportunities that it's going to drive you crazy. So I would wait, or really fine tune that, work with a employment agency. You've got to get in for something more specific to suit your niche.
And then Maria asked, do you see John coming back into my life?
Yes, but not to stay, not for the purpose of a serious, committed relationship where you feel respected. It feels more for fun. I hate to say, like, just kind of bored, and well, I'll check in and see how things are going, how she's doing. It's not anything that's going to really develop.
And then Carol asks, any message or messages from my mother, Dorothy? So many dreams.
Yes. Yes, there's a lot. This is coming across in terms of caretaking. This is something that's more of like a help type of message coming across. She's more concerned about, and we've got to tiptoe around medical stuff, but there's a family member that needs care. And I feel like it might even be on a physical level, or handicapped, or an accident, or not able to function normally. And so I'm getting more of this, like, you need to help, and that the family member doesn't feel like it's an immediate sibling or family member. It feels like they're a little bit further away. So it's kind of a burden, but we need resources. We need help. You need to help. And they aren't telling you, I need help. They're downplaying the situation like I'm fine. And she's coming over saying, no, you need to help. They're going to hurt themselves. They're going to injure again. They shouldn't be as mobile. So that is not what I see as just a peaceful soul that's here helping. It's more of a, come on. So the dreams may feel pleasant, but it's going to get louder and even more persistent. And the message it's like somebody talking underwater, where you're not hearing the message clearly of what action needs to be taken.
Very interesting. And before we start our tarot section of the live, we have 15 minutes left. It's flying by, guys. So before we start with our first question for the tarot section, I wanted to do a few announcements. So next week, as I mentioned earlier, is the third Monday of the month. So we are going to be doing our monthly tarot live. And what that is one of our psychics, our tarot psychics, in this case, it's Psychic Reagan. Psychic Reagan will be taking over all of our social media accounts, and that's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So if we're going to post at the same time, so it'll be 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be posting a post that says, what question do you want answered by Psychic Reagan? And then she's going to type out comments with a tarot card and an explanation of what that means for your question. She's going to get to as many as she can in that 1 hour. We'll post the post earlier in the day, though, so people have time to write their question out. So you don't have to be live in that moment. But Psychic Reagan will be live during that hour typing out answers. So that's next week. And then following week on the 22nd is Psychic Tegan for our Facebook Live. And since there's 5 Mondays in March, Psychic Marin will be having the last Monday of the month. So that's March 29th. She'll be back for another Facebook and YouTube Live. And then quick thank yous again. We have a lot of new likes I wanted to mention. Sharon Leach has just gave us a little heart on Facebook, and Joshua Barnes and Lori J and Jennifer Ann. Thank you all for watching. And over on YouTube, we have Sonrisa watching, and Ian Lipsum and Stephanie M and Amalika Pulova and Diane McLaughlin. So everyone that's watching, we really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get notified when we go live next week, or week after that, I'm sorry. So now for our tarot card portion of the section of the live. Andrea B, tarot card, a good card, please.
Knight of Wands. So this is an action card, and this can mean a younger male, is often a child or younger male, like in your life. But it's also the suit of wands is fiery. So it's a relationship dealing with somebody that's a juvenile, younger age, that's got a little bit of a fiery connection, maybe some arguing. I wish I could say this was a good card, but it's more of just a neutral of somebody in your life that is requiring a lot of attention, a lot of support from you right now.
Oh, Kelly Price says card, please.
Okay. This is a harder card. This is a sorrowful card. It's the 5 of Cups, and often this is seen as this grief or mourning. But if he were to turn around, he would see that there are 2 other cups that are still upright. And so not all hope is lost, but it's a card of grief. It's a card of heartache. So it's a little bit more emotional.
And then before I pull the next one, I just want to remind everyone that for this section, the comments are coming in really fast. So if you just comment one time, card please, I probably won't see it in that moment because it's just refreshing constantly. So if you want to put card please a few times, especially after Marin just answers it, I have a higher chance of seeing that. Just letting you know that if you comment it just once, I probably won't see it. And then Stephanie M says, card, please.
Okay, this is always the one that everybody wants. This is the 4 of Wands, which is the happily ever after with the family and the home and the garden. It's a beautiful card, often of celebration or marriage or family. So this is what everyone wants to have in their life.
Ooh, I like it. It's a pretty card too.
And I always share the name of the card. So 4 of Wands. This way, if I'm giving a concise explanation, you can go Google it. You can go to California Psychic's blog and Google it, look it up, and learn more about the card in detail. Or give me a call.
I like that. And thank you for plugging the blog. I forgot to mention that throughout the time here. Is we do have one blog for every single card. It tells you, if your question was about love, it means this. If your question was about money, it's about this. So it kind of breaks down what your question was and what that card interprets that for each question. And we also, if we don't get to everyone now, in our app, the free to download app, we have a tarot card section where it automatically shuffles and you just pick, push down whenever you intuitively feel that that's your card, and it will draw a single card for you, just like we're doing here, and give you an explanation that way. So I highly recommend, if we don't get to you today, try that out. And then, of course, talk to Psychic Marin or any of our tarot psychics if you're interested in doing full spreads and all kinds of fun stuff there.
Yeah.
Christina says, career card, please. Any promotions?
Okay. 4 of Pentacles, which is probably not in the immediate future, because this is a card giving you the message to hang on to your money. You need to buckle up. This is kind of more of a sit tight, not a lot of luxurious spending right now, because finances are going to be tight. They just said late September, October. You've got late September is when I see a more substantial raise and promotion title shift. So that's going to be a little while.
Claire says, family card, please. I wonder if he wants manners. Please.
This is a tough one. This is conflict. This is fighting. This is a 5 of Wands, and it shows like inner turmoil. I mean, a lot of families have conflicts, so hopefully this isn't unbearable. But that's a tougher card. You've got some family dynamics that are at odds with each other.
Marianne D says, love card, please.
So this is the Ace of Wands, which is a thumbs up. This is a positive. So if you had a question in your mind that was kind of a yes or no, is this person in my life? Is he going to stay? If this is a good relationship, this is a thumbs up.
Son Kaur says, card, please.
Yeah, that's career related. So this is a 10 of Pentacles, which is perfect. This is like legacy money, inheritance money. I felt like there was a career question or career issues, and this is saying you will be very solid and secure in finances and any investment opportunities or anything that you're pursuing. This is a really good validating card for you being able to leave behind quite the inheritance with your financial stability.
Doreen Rhodes says, card on love, please.
Page of Pentacles, which is like this youthful energy, looking into the crystal ball, gazing, wondering, where is this going to go? What's new? What's ahead? Like, it's a contemplative card of you wondering, how's this going to unfold? So you're kind of in a limbo period right now. How's this going to go? Or where's he coming from? Where are they coming from? It's a deep thought card.
Tamika says, a good luck card, please. That's hard to say.
Love it. Okay, this is the Sun, and this is the card that shows new beginnings, new opportunities. The little child that is on the back of the horse with the sunflowers, just born. It's like this new excitement, kind of seize the moment. And this card, we've got a special coming up with some summer solstice videos and promotions that you can keep an eye out on, that I'm going to have a little tip with this card. Yes, that is a good teaser. We do have Marin doing some videos later on, and I'm very excited for them. Deborah says, moving to Texas card for Ray and I. And this makes perfect sense. This is the 3 of Pentacles, which in the card, it's depicted as a architect with 2 patrons inside a cathedral, and it's symbolic of building community. And so your job, if you choose to do so, is to get involved on a community level. And I imagine just seeing you that that's who you are. You're not a hermit. You're going to be very involved. You're going to want to make friends, be social, find nonprofit organizations that you might want to volunteer with and become a part of. But the message really is more that you're not going to feel alone. You're not going to feel out of place, that you really will feel this great sense of community and belonging.
Megan Daniels said, love card, please. Any news about Destiny?
Okay. Hold on. Funny, I'm going to explain this. Every once in a while, what will happen is I pull a card and I'm told, no, void card, pull again. And so I pulled it up and I hadn't even fully looked at this. And I just got, nope, wrong, pick again. So let me pick again. You're still searching. Okay. I can tell this is a complex situation. Like there's an estrangement or you can't pin this person down. And what they're showing me is even when you're trying to connect or try to get information from this person, they're still fighting me trying to find them. They're contemplating where they're going in their life. This is in an upright position. So in a regular position, this would be, where do I go next? In an upright, excuse me, I said that wrong. In a reversed position, it is, I'm stuck. I can't leave. I can't go on. So I think that there are unresolved issues in this relationship with this person that need to be discussed and need to be resolved, and they're really fighting it.
And then Cheryl says, a card, please, on love.
Okay, this is not the time. This is the Four of Swords, which is deep sleep, deep rest, almost like you need to process, you need to incubate, you really need to think things through and where you're going, what relationship you're wanting to pursue, because it's happening too fast. You're spinning your wheels and you need to really step back and think this through. Do you really want this? It requires more thought and patience than what you are presently allowing.
We still have time for a few more, but I wanted to remind everyone, and especially if you just joined, we have been getting some psychics that are not affiliated with California Psychics that are commenting on our YouTube and our Facebook posts saying, you know, I'm a psychic, I can do a reading for you, or, you know, pay me $5 and I'll do a reading from you. Just know that is not ever going to be a California psychic that is commenting on our post. The only people that comment through our Facebook and YouTube, it'll say California Psychics. It's myself or our customer service team that is responding to those posts. So Danica, I, and our customer service team replies, but it will never be any of our psychics that are commenting on those. So if you do want a reading, I highly recommend going to our website, downloading our app. You can contact any of our available psychics. Marin, when are you going to be on next so people know when to look for you?
I'll be on in about an hour. I'm going to get something to eat, and then I will be on this evening and pretty much every night this week.
Perfect. That is good to know. And, you know, we have all different types of readings. You can get a phone reading, a typical reading. You can do chat readings. Marin had mentioned messages that you can send in emails. So tons of different ways you can find whoever's available at that moment, or you can try to schedule an appointment with a psychic if you have a favorite that isn't available at that time. So please be sure to check them out and use the promo code LIVE5. If you are a new customer who's never gotten a reading, you'll get $5 added to your account. And in 2 days, it's Karma Rewards Day, where you get extra points for getting readings. So all of our new customers and our returning customers, please be sure to show up in 2 days. It's on the 10th and the 11th for your extra points. So we'll pull one, maybe two more questions. We'll see what we got. Shanette Johnson says, a general card, please.
One of my most favorite cards in the deck. This is the Star card, which shows that you are being divinely led pay attention to your guides. This is one of my favorites.
Love it. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I already answered one of yours, so I'll have to come back. Patricia Lira says, card, please.
Okay, 3, 8. I'm trying to see if there's more, because I know this is probably the grand finale. This is the 8 of Cups, which is you're relocating, you're leaving, you're considering heading to higher ground. Sometimes this is fleeing a situation, or you need to get out. Where do I go? You're leaving a situation behind for a better future.
We'll do one more.
Oh, okay. Got one more.
Let's see. Medea wants a card on love.
Okay. Medea. 7 of Pentacles, which even though this card has an underlying context of finances and security, in terms of love, it's a reflection of where you are at. So it's time to kind of pause, look at the relationship. What needs to be modified? What do you need to fine tune? How's the relationship going to grow with your tending and nurturing? Because it's not quite on track exactly like you would like it. So there's a little bit of tending to that garden or tending to the relationship that's necessary for you to have it exactly the way you want it.
Love it. And I, again, thank you, Marin, for joining us. We always love having you on, and I'm sure everyone loves whenever you are here as well. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, special thank you to people that I know that are watching right now still, Chrissy, Morton, and Sharon, Bozek, and Gina Parkett. We really, really appreciate having you here. We could not do any of this without people commenting and pouring out their feelings in these questions. So thank you for joining us, everyone, and thank you, Marin.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.